Alright, YouTube, we are back with Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
All of his
We're
co-workers were gone.
hoping to
What could it
find
mean?
some new
Stanley
stuff we've
decided to
never
go to
seen
the meeting
before.
room. Perhaps
So far
he had
we
simply
found
missed
one
a
new
memo.
thing. But the thing is that I don't know if I should just restart manually. Like, can I do that? Yeah, begin the game again. If we accidentally end up on a route that we've seen before. But there's always the chance that the routes from the original game might be
Stanley
different.
came to a set
So far
of
they
two
haven't
open
been.
doors. He entered the
But
door on his left.
I don't know, because
This was not the correct way to the meeting
we
room,
sat through
and
the
Stanley
phone
knew it
ending
perfectly
again.
well.
We've seen all
Perhaps
that
he
before.
wanted to stop by the employee
And
lounge first,
we went
just to
through the
admire
mind
it.
control facility and turned it off, and that was all the same. So I don't
The
know
lounge was sublime.
if we want
a
to keep
work of
sitting
art.
through
What
ones
was
that
it
we've
about
seen
eager to
before
get back to
see
business?
if they're different,
Stanley took
or
the
if I should
first
just
open door on
start
his
over
left.
by myself. Because, like I said, I have absolutely no idea what they've added.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Because I'm pretty sure this elevator leads down to the mind control, like the screen room. But I don't think you can normally go anywhere from there. You just kind of sit on the elevator and the narrator rants. But I'm pretty sure, actually, isn't this what triggers the adventure line? Like that whole thing? There might be something new there. But we'll check on that in a sec. I'm gonna go back to the left hallway and make
Yet
sure
there
that
was not a
nothing's
single
changed
person here
in this
either.
area.
Feeling a wave
And if
of disbelief,
if I feel like
Stanley
nothing's
decided to
different,
go up to his
we
boss's
will
office,
we'll go
hoping
down
he
that
might find an
elevator
answer
and
there.
see if the adventure
Coming
line
to a staircase,
has anything
Stanley
new.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Because I think this goes down to the parking garage. Unless there's something under the stairs. I don't think anything's different here. I don't want to trigger that just now. Alright, we'll go up to... Let's see if that one elevator that doesn't seem to go anywhere, that just plays the music. Let's see if there's anything different about that. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Was that on the wall originally? I don't remember ever seeing that. Alright, let's go to this elevator. I have a feeling it's still not going to take us anywhere. It's just going to be infinite, but we're going to check everything that we can, because I don't want to miss anything by accident. So if it comes to it, and we've played this, like we've streamed this game for a couple hours, or like over the course of a couple days, and it doesn't seem like we're finding a lot of endings, or maybe we are, but I want to make sure that we don't miss anything. Perhaps in like the next time we stream or the time after that, I might see if anyone's made a guide for Ultra Deluxe, just because I don't want to miss. I mean, obviously, most of the fun of the game is finding everything blind, but I want to also make sure that we don't miss anything, so we are going to continue blindly looking around for anything that's changed. But if I'm struggling to find anything new, we might just see if we can find, not quite look up to the point where I know what's going to happen, but just the steps to get to that point. Alright, so we've been going down this elevator for a long time, so hopefully when we open the door, it'll be somewhere new, right? Nope. So that's the same. That's great. Isn't that the, pretty sure that's like the Steam icon for the Stanley Parable. Alright, anything behind the receptionist's desk? What is this book she's reading? Oh, the beige pages. It's a phone book, like the yellow pages. Haha. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Let's go to
what could it mean? Stanley
the development
wondered aloud
room.
to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf,
that left
looking
hallway
behind
by
paintings,
the mind control room,
desperate for clues to his situation. but his attention
since this
was
is a
caught by
new
a
game,
keypad
if the
behind the boss's
development
desk.
stuff is different.
What could its purpose be?
Christian, does this elevator also awaken something? It doesn't quite have the music or the shininess, but it's got its charms, I guess.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I feel like I'm being followed. I feel a little something, something. That's fine. Not all elevators are created equal. I understand. You know, it'd just be like the ultimate, the ultra,
of what this world is. Perhaps
just bait and switch is if this actually does crush me and it just starts the game over instead of taking us to the development area.
End to his brief and shallow life.
And I'm pretty sure when you're done exploring all the behind the scenes stuff, it does crush you. But yeah, it stops right here. Alright, so this looks the exact same, but I feel like because this is a new game with new development, there's probably got to be some additional rooms.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he
seen
hit
all
start?
of this. Does Stanley go to Olive Garden? That could be one of the endings. Who knows? They could have added that to the game. We just haven't found it yet. Maybe that ending where you go out the window, maybe they added a car or something. We can actually escape the office building. We've seen these before, all the different iterations of Stanley's office. Which one's the final version? This one? It seems like a very, what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like the design could be better. I feel like some of those filing cabinets are kind of out of reach or unusable, and it's just kind of awkward the way it's shoved behind the desk like that. But what if he door dashes it? I was gonna say he could probably use the phone to order some takeout, but I don't know if Stanley even owns a smartphone, so I don't think DoorDash is an option. Alright, let's go through the main hangar area and just continue on with the game. I was expecting there to be like new development stuff, but I don't think there was any, so let's
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The second input computer is available, actually. Ah, here we go. Oh, 2. Alright, so I think we said we were going to do... What? Hello? It's as if the game was, like, reading my mind. Okay.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Perfect! This beats having to search for it. The game's just kind of putting it in my face. Are you listening to me, Stanley Parable? New content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra
Me
Deluxe
too, Mr.
content.
Narrator. One thing you and I can agree on.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Is it gonna move?
Is it broken? What's going on
I
here?
like how me and the
Should
narrator
we-
just seem to be on the
Should we
same
be moving
wavelength
somewhere?
today.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do
Ooh,
it.
same. Let's do it indeed. Very long elevator.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Mostly what?
All right.
The jump
All right,
circle?
let's see it.
We can actually jump?
Jump circle?
No way. Stanley can jump? Oh, but only for a limited amount of times. Can we, like, somehow... Okay, so we can only jump in the circle. This is too good. This is, like, the biggest possible change they could have added to the game, is finally allowing me to jump. If we crouch and then we jump, can we get like some extra air? Can Stanley do burpees? Oh, 2 jumps remaining. Gotta make them count. Okay. How can we make these jumps extra special? Oh, only 1 left. Oh, I didn't press space in time. Oh, come on. I just want to see if I can... Okay. We're out of jumps. Is that it? Can we follow the wire or something? Get us hack...
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Anything in this corner? Everything in this game is so dark. Reminds me of all the horror games we've played on this channel. Is that it? Okay. Hey, as far as new content goes, even if that's the only thing they added to the game, I'd be happy. Stanley being able to jump has been a long time coming.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
It is for
If this
me.
New content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Oh, good.
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it.
What?
I'm ready for whatever it is.
This is like a weird combination of like the normal office hallways and like the warehousey parts of the building. Oh,
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video
this
game
is
developers
Whiteboard
with no
Ending Part
respect
2.
for their fan base rush a cheap
Oh,
expansion
actually,
to
that
market
reminds
for
me. Can I
no
open the
reason
console?
other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of
I wanna turn on
craftsmanship
the
that's gone
dog
into it.
barking.
In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
I
What
did notice
quality
that.
assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley.
It is
I
your
built
fault.
up too much anticipation
Most
around the new
things are.
content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me,
Oh,
why don't we just
I could
reset
actually
the
crawl
game,
under the
and we'll try to get back to
the
what the
whiteboard.
Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
like always.
What do you say, friend?
I have a feeling that stuff's about to get wonky. Yup, here we go. Are we out of bounds? What is going on? What is happening? I mean, I knew that it wasn't gonna just start over as normal, but this is weird. I like how they have the picture of like the way it's normally supposed to look. Like, no, everything's still normal. Oh,
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
in the vent. That seems pretty sus. Haha, haha. Okay, that's enough of that. So what if I ignore him? See, now this is a dilemma that we faced many times in the original Stanley Parable. Is do we follow the path that they want us to follow, or do we go off the path? And will it affect? Because then will I have to come all the way back here and go through all that? I mean, this is the true nature of the Stanley Parable, is these options. But let's see what the narrator wants, and then maybe we'll come back here and see what happens if we go that way. Well, there's definitely no turning back. So he was talking about the achievements. So the original Stanley Parable had one for not playing the game for 5 years, which in and of itself is insane. This one expands on that, and you're not supposed to play the game for 10 years? Like, how in the world are you going to keep me from playing this game for 10 years?
You remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Narrator, you truly outdid yourself here. Wow. I like how they still have like office equipment and chairs and stuff mixed with like the old
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
So, when we first played the Stanley Parable and did the escape pod, the mind control, turning off the mind control, and that big door opened, one of the things that I wished was that you could actually explore that outdoors area. This is kind of like the next best thing. I think this is like, other than obviously the window that just kind of led to a white room, this is like the first time that we actually get to explore outside.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Indoors monthly? Time? I get it. Ha. Because it's a clock. Audience award? So I'm wondering, are these actual awards that the Stanley Parable got? Like, did it get a BAFTA? I think I remember that actually being a thing, which is cool because it definitely deserves it. The memories, I didn't play this in 2013 when it first came out, but even just what has it been like since the first time we played this game? Almost 5 years. A lot of memories are flooding back. Good stuff. Smile because it happened. The narrator is very nostalgic, which is great. Yeah, that's gonna be a while, because I think the last time we played the Stanley Parable was 2019, so we still got a few years. I have no idea how I'm going to get the 10 years. So it was nominated for a BAFTA. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Oh, I remember. That was the first ending we ever got. Was we went down to the car park, and then I got like confused because I thought that we were gonna play as a woman after that because I didn't know that there were multiple endings. What strange architecture. What?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Hey, that elevator content was worth it, though. Oh, the Minecraft. That was fun. I remember that. The original remake? Stanley, Person of the Year? Oh, I recognize the Hammer editor anywhere from when I used to make Portal maps. Portal. Alright, so the original remake, so does that implies that the developers attempted to remake this game in the past? Well, no, because wasn't the Stanley Parable a remake of a Half-Life 2 mod? I'm pretty sure I went back and watched like the original Stanley Parable that actually was like in Half-Life 2. So I guess technically the Stanley Parable that we played on the stream before would technically be the original remake. But I'm wondering, was there originally a remake of that version of the game, the remake version? Okay, now I'm confusing myself. I'm just gonna stop there and walk through the door. For Scott K. Was there actually a collector's edition of the Stanley Parable? Because I would totally rock that tie. I'm not wearing one right now, but I got my suit coat on for the occasion. But I would totally, if I had that, we would be wearing it right now. Preparing snake oil salesman routine. Literally anything. They can't do anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
Like
9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't
need
need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Mr. Narrator, this Serious Room classic. So, the last time we streamed the Stanley Parable, we did the Serious Room under the assumption that we had never done it before. But what I didn't realize at that time is that we had actually done it before. So we've done that ending twice now, in the original game. And Both times it was hilarious. What a good game. Good memories. Can we, you know, I heard this door open, but Mr. Narrator, I can't actually get through. Do I have to climb on something like the window ending? It doesn't look like it. Do I have to just kind of go back? Is he gonna say something?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give
this
to
is
go
open
back
now.
to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam.
Oh,
the
no.
online video game distributor.
Are there
I
gonna
haven't
be
looked at
bad
these in
reviews?
years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely
This-
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Kind of like bleak, apocalyptic looking setting is giving me major Half-Life 2 vibes. I mean, it is the source engine, but you know what I mean.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be
Bug
more
Livia.
irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Assuming that's a real review and not just one that they made for the game, I really hope that Bug Livia did not just get like absolutely flamed by the community for that. Well, the game just came out, so obviously there's still time, but yikes. The fact that they didn't even censor... I mean, if you post a review, I guess it's public, but that's great. It's savage. This is so weird to me, because, like, Stanley Parable, it's a game about being in an office building, but we're spending so much time outside, and now it's storming, like... Feels like I'm playing a completely different game altogether. Because I am. This is Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It is not the Stanley Parable.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Terse.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
Oh.
Like I let these people down.
Narrator.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
But that's okay, because I liked it, and that's all that matters. And with the Ultra Deluxe, you have a chance at reclaiming that glory again. Oh no.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
The narrator's
A
just
skip
getting
button.
absolutely destroyed.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record.
Whoa.
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
What
That's my motto today,
in
and it's
the
always
world?
been my motto.
I
do
can't even go
anything
back.
for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
We're just gonna walk around on top of this floating piece of wood. Skip button. Can I go around to the backside? Okay, nothing back here. Narrator, I love the sound of your
And
voice
here
too
it
much
is.
to possibly
Go
want
ahead
to
and
skip
give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
Okay.
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably
What
we
is
all
this
until
voice
the
he's
end
doing?
of time, at which time everything all at once. So
I kinda
now
just
you
wanna
see,
listen to
blah,
what
blah,
he's
blah,
gonna
blah,
say.
blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. But
What?
the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be.
I don't even
It's
need to
the only
skip
thing there
because
is.
it already
How many billions
sounds
left
like I'm
until
skipping
so much
through
more
it.
than
It's
forever
gibberish.
ago, which is why I say the story and the choices,
Oh.
or what have you, and therefore by
It's
becoming it is,
starting over.
so
Okay.
on and so forth.
That's funny.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought?
Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person?
Oh my
and in
gosh,
fact, do the very
narrator, I can't
opposite?
follow what
you
you're
see,
saying.
it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I think to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah, see, now you've got me going back to manifesto.
Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day.
Yes.
Okay, look.
Can I
have a
wait,
method
am I
for
supposed to
exactly
skip
this sort of
this?
situation, and I do
My
find
head
myself in
started
this
to, like,
situation
I
frequently.
can't follow.
I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other.
Oh, no.
In which case, the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit,
Just
didn't
a little
you?
bit,
But
yeah.
that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
I haven't left enough Steam
Perhaps
reviews
that
to
would
know
have been
the
the
answer
smart
to that.
thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit
Gabe,
one's review
get on that.
merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their
No,
review.
Valve is
so
too
that the feature
busy
is not
hopefully
widely
making
abused.
Half-Life 3
I would
or
even
Portal
be okay
3
with Steam altering
to
this particular review so that it
focus
reads as
on
something
adding an
more
edit button
beneficial.
to Steam.
Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over.
No, please
How
don't.
about this? Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Wow.
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Oh.
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before.
There definitely was.
How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. Oh, Stanley.
The lights. I was gonna say I noticed some of the lights were out, but now
Stanley,
they're all out but one.
I think it's been a week or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
Just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
I needed there to be a vessel.
Is he gonna like deactivate the skip button?
It was the vessel I needed, Stanley.
Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying.
I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me,
ready to
then
stop
maybe
hearing you.
It means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness.
Is the narrator going to crawl out
when
into
you
the
press
real
that
world?
Button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away.
And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real.
Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here.
I'm picturing all of the
I am someone. I am something.
Dialogue
I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world.
Like, how many takes
and
did
I've
this
cast
take?
a shadow.
Obviously, it's probably
you
broken
see what
up.
I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means.
This one section
I'm so clear about
has
it now,
all
Stanley.
this
I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all.
I like zoned out half the stuff he was saying after the last like 2 minutes.
It's you.
And now it's pitch black.
I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
Oh my
Down in
gosh.
one place and not move for one entire year. Let me describe it for you.
To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust, simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, but what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being.
It was incredible. The spaciousness. The equanimity of the moment.
The narrator, multiverse of
infinite.
madness.
For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed. And
passed faster because I pressed a button. Is he just gone? Narrator? Narrator? Oh, okay. Narrator. Have we gone so far forward in time that the narrator just doesn't exist anymore? Do we just keep pressing the button? Oh, oh. What is that? Smoke detector? Clock fell off the wall. Plant's dead. Smoke detector's beeping, probably needs new batteries. How long have we been here?
But they didn't understand
Oh,
the game was
he's back.
never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands.
Oh,
but
I
then,
forgot that
he's
this
talking
all
too much.
started
They said,
because
first,
he didn't like the
entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's
Steam
the
reviews.
inconsistency. It's the lack of accountability.
Oh
it's the
my gosh.
unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart.
The words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being.
Have we been given
them
to
what they
indulging
want.
every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so?
Yes, yes, it seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it.
He
I
sounds
am the
pretty
calm
mad.
center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reason.
Oh no, is he gone again? Well, someone must have changed the smoke detector batteries, or maybe it just died altogether. We're just forever trapped. Oh my gosh.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
The
is never
loading
the
screen?
End, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Is he
end,
just
is
gonna
never
keep
the
going?
end, is never the end, is never the end.
I think I heard it loop. This is insane. I was not expecting us to spend so much time in this room, or there to be this much dialogue. Oh my gosh, everything's falling apart. Is there a way that we can like climb up it and get out of here? No? Do we have to press the skip button again? Sunlight. Still no way out though. Because they took away our jumping ability again. Oh my gosh. Everything's overgrown. From the moment that we first entered this room, how much time has passed? Oh, it's dark again. Must be nighttime. Oh, I don't like those sounds though. So, get me out of here. No, stop, because I don't want this game to suddenly become another horror game. The Stanley Parable is supposed to be a break from the horror games that we normally play. Oh. Will the button even work? Oh wait, we can get out. Yeah, wasn't this building that we were in, wasn't it like in the middle of a lake or an ocean or something? Because it came out of the water. Everything's dried up. Did we miss the apocalypse? I just want my old office building back. I'm just gonna keep walking towards the sun. Maybe we'll find something. Oh. We found a black screen in the middle of the desert. Are we back? Is that officially like we're back? We're back? Is it just... Let's start the game?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
What?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Alright, I'm just making sure absolutely nothing's different. Has this always been spilt over? And that, it's just like a normal loop. New content? Well, we have gone way over a half hour at this point. So, for the people watching on YouTube, I'm going to end this video right here. And when we come back, we're going to see what the new content is. But that was, I mean, the first new content. What all did we do? We went through some like random rooms, elevators, jumping. And then we went through the narrator's like building of nostalgia, and then all those reviews and the skip. There was a lot. So I'm not sure what to expect, but I'll see you then.